Welcome back to the Backyard Professor videos. Hey, it's getting warm enough. I'm going to start shedding clothes. Just the coat, just the coat. My overly white skin would blind the camera anyway. Okay, continuing. One last video on this DNA in the Book of Mormon from the Book of Mormon problem of trying to describe the Lamanites, or the Jews, or the Nephites, or whoever the people are here. And then I'll go on into the actual situation with DNA science. But it was crucial to get a proper understanding of the Book of Mormon Lamanite before we proceed to say it has been refuted. This is crucial. This the critics are not doing. You understand why now, of course. On page 20, 21, and 22, I'm just going to skip and highlight here. By the time Mormon and Moroni were preparing their abridgments of the record, the term Lamanite clearly served as a cultural political label for those who either stood apart from or openly opposed the Nephite religion and government. So we're not talking lineage and genealogy or DNA at all here. By the time Moroni sealed up the record, 400 AD or thereabouts, as far as he was concerned, all who remained in this world were Lamanites or non-Christians, regardless of their nationality or genealogical affinities. His reference to the annihilation of his people was not merely a corpse count, but also recognition that any who survived had affiliated with the Lamanite religious political system. In that broader sense, calling Native Americans descendants of Lamanites presents no inconsistency with the genetic data. In AD 421, when the record was sealed up, the people Moroni would have recognized as Lamanites, no matter what their actual ethnic origin might have been, they were indeed ancestors of the modern American Indians. We should recognize that the Book of Mormon is a severe abridgment of a history spanning thousands of years. In the wake of this oversimplification, the secular significance of Lamanite as a historical label often goes unappreciated, because the tendency is to oversimplify an already abbreviated storyline for the sake of conveying the theological doctrines. And of course, it's the theological doctrines that we concentrate most on as Latter-day Saints. But by understanding, number one, the Book of Mormon is an abridgment, and number two, it is from a specific point of view religiously and culturally and philosophically and governmentally, then you see that the distinctions that the Book of Mormon peoples themselves put on Lamanite and Nephite and Lemuelite and Ishmaelite and Josephite and Jacobite and Zoramite and Mulekite, even though the Book of Mormon never specifically calls them Mulekite, these distinctions aren't about the blood lineages. They're about specific philosophies of life and either accepting or rejecting those philosophies of life. So I think Meldrum and Stephens have done a wonderful job exploring and basically I've highlighted their fuller discussion because I'm stuck with 8 to 10 minute videos, so I have to do a series here. Get this book. If you're having issues with DNA in the Book of Mormon, get this book and read it and understand it. I'm working my way through it for the third time. And I have several, the Lehite gene marker. Very interesting chapter. Who are the children of Lehi? A very interesting chapter. Lehi's footprints. A most remarkable analysis of how we can and how we cannot use DNA to prove or disprove the Book of Mormon. It doesn't ultimately reside in DNA analysis. That's just the facts. That's the way it is. So I will return with the DNA science end of this and show why it is so complex. In the meantime, DNA is making progress. This is good. This is good. But we have to understand this truly is a dead-end road for having the final say-so scientifically against the Book of Mormon. DNA science simply cannot do that. And it is inherent within the nature of the testing itself is why it cannot do that. It may want to. Our scientists may want it to be able to do that, but it can't. Ultimately, this question, this statement, this argument that DNA science has refuted the Book of Mormon, has proven it false, that statement is itself false.